Welcome to the Rochester Swim Club Celebration of Success. Rochester Swim Club has a history of excellence since 1949. None of us thought a year ago we would have a second banquet virtually in a global pandemic. This year has shown us the strength and resiliency that our athletes and coaches empower. I would first like to thank our coaches and staff, Tom, Amy, Wojciech, Annette, JJ, Shelley, Logan, John, Sam, Ashley, and countless swim instructors, managers, and lifeguards. They have all shown us the true meaning of what teamwork is in the last year. We are pleased to present the 2020-2021 RSC Celebration of Success. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Coach Logan, and I loved coaching the Red Group this year. Red Group is the beginning group of swim team, and most swimmers moved up from prep squad or another beginning swim experience. In this group, we work on skills, new drills, learning how to use your equipment like your front snorkel and not getting water up your nose, and really becoming a team. My goal for everyone in this group is to prepare you to find success as you move throughout the team. Now, there were challenges like swimming your first ever timed 300 freestyle, but there was also a lot of fun. Quite a few Red Groupers can claim the weekly title of Cannonball Champion. Overall, the improvement I saw was immense. From September through the shutdown in December, and coming back stronger in January, everyone in the group worked so hard, pushed themselves for success, and learned and achieved so much. I'm so proud of all of you. A lot of the swimmers who swam with me all season have already moved on to the next level, and several will be making this move shortly. About half the swimmers listed here are new to the team since April. These swimmers are having great success already, and I'm excited to see how you will all improve this summer. There are 3 awards for Red Group. First is the most dedicated swimmer. Now, this swimmer came to practice ready to swim fast and wanting to be the best they could be. It's a swimmer who wants to be at every meet. They want to be at every practice. They're always dedicating themselves to do their best, make changes, become their best swimmer self. The Red Group most dedicated is Jackson Dangler. Next is most improved swimmer. In this group, there were a lot of candidates. Lots of improvement across the board. Now, this swimmer began the season quietly, seemingly not exactly sure of where they fit on the team. Since September, the swimmer has become a motivating teammate, dropped tons of time in all their strokes and distances, and really is becoming a strong leader, not just of Red Group, but of the team. The Red Group most improved is Harper Froelich. Finally, the Coaches Award. Again, lots of swimmers could have gotten this award. So many of you did such a great job this year. This swimmer in particular quietly led through example all year and found a lot of success. They were a swimmer who was always paying attention, put themselves first when necessary, and stepped aside to let teammates shine when they needed to. It's a swimmer who can make stroke corrections, can push themselves at swim meets, has great results, really knows what they're doing, and really wants to be their best. It's the kind of swimmer that all coaches love to have in their group. The Red Group Coaches Award goes to Kathy Wang. Congratulations to all the Red Group swimmers. It's been a wonderful season, and the upcoming summer will also be great. I can't wait.
Hello, I'm Coach JJ. I'm the coach for the White Group. The White Group has 11 swimmers. The group was designed to fine-tune swimmers' strokes, turns, starts, and drill work before we move them to team. These swimmers are coming up from the prep squad and the Red Group. They were ready to move on from those groups, but not quite ready for the team. With the smaller group size of 11 swimmers, we were able to work more closely one-on-one with each of the athletes. We focused more on their technique versus longer yards. Many teams, athletes are swimming between 3,000 to 5,000 yards. We were focusing more on 1,000 to 2,000 yards as we did more drill during practice than anything else. The idea of the stroke work paid off tremendously for these swimmers as we watched their times drop significantly over this short season. We are very proud of all of our swimmers. We'll go through the awards now for each one of our athletes in this group. Most dedicated is going to Keaton Shonoff. She had put in the most consecutive days at practice. There was rarely a time that she took off. Most improved, we have Sylvia Thompson-Jewell. She came to our group with very little swimming experience in stroke work, and she dedicated herself to really working hard every day. Coach's award goes to Ada Ekholm, who dropped tremendous times throughout the season. She was always a hard worker at practices and just put in 100% every day. Our female athlete of the year goes to Karina Tan, who came in from prep squad with zero swimming experience prior, but had a natural talent that is very hard to teach. She dropped times at every single meet. It was fun being her coach. Our male athlete turns out to be our only male athlete in the group, but he was an extremely hard worker, and if there had been more, he probably still would have won this award, but it goes to Maximus Trudy. It was a very rewarding season with these athletes. Out of all the 11, everyone saw time drops. They all worked very hard. The purpose of this group was not to keep them in it very long. It is kind of a jumping program for all the kids. Our goal is to fine-tune them and move them into the team so they can continue to see those time drops and continue to work hard. Almost all of my 11 kids moved out to blue group or junior group with this spring. Some of them stayed around a little bit longer, but they will be moving out here in the next few weeks. We look forward to seeing where all these athletes can go in the future. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Tom, and I'm the lead coach for the Blue Group. This is my first year coaching the Blue Group, and it was a lot of fun. This group is for our top 10 and unders on the team, and this group practices 5 days a week for about an hour and 15 minutes. Usually the last 5 to 10 minutes is either racing or a game or something very fun. The kids tend to really enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun coaching them. This group really focuses a lot on teaching technique and spending a fair amount of time working on their skill development. And a lot of that has to do with the racing skill development, because that's a really big aspect of the Blue Group. It is the basics of our competitive program. They're competing at a much higher level as they get older, and this is where we teach them a lot of those skills. We do the very basics of training in this group, starting out doing some repetitive 50s, maybe some 75s, and even a couple of hundreds as we get deeper into our season. We really want to work on performance in this group, and we do that at swim meets. And we do that while having a lot of fun, because fast swimming is fun. These guys did an awesome job this year racing and getting after it. Even with all the shutdowns, they really performed well. We had just such a fantastic season, and I'm so happy to see this group progress from the first day of the season to the end of our virtual championship back in April. We made a lot of progress. It was a very young group when we started. A lot of the members, I think 18 of the 20 members of this group, were brand new to it, and so it was a lot of fun teaching them, and we learned a lot. My overall favorite part of this season was just really watching their growth and development. And seeing how great they could be at the end of the season, racing, performing well, doing all those skills that we worked on so hard throughout the year was just a really, really big reward. That, and I think my other favorite moment was the giant game of Shipwreck that we played back in November before we were closed down on that Saturday for the second shutdown, and watching the Blue Groupers dominate at that game of Shipwreck, which was a lot of fun. This group performed really well, as I was saying. They broke a few of the 8 and under team records, which was awesome, and they placed very high at the virtual championship. We had more than 20 top 8 finishers from this group and 9 number 1 overall finishes, which is pretty awesome considering how big our LSC is. We had a few special award winners in this group from this year, and those are, I'm going to talk a little bit about each one. And those awards are Most Dedicated, and that goes to someone who really dealt with a lot this season, came through a pretty big injury and had to pull for a long time this season and had to come in on crutches every day, but eventually worked her way back at it, and that is Carly Maley. Our Most Improved Swimmer goes to a swimmer who I think was on every dry land call that I did over the past year, whether it was in the first shutdown or the second shutdown. He really, really did a nice job of working on his freestyles, backstroke, his butterfly, and his breaststroke. They all came so far in this past year, and he was even a top 3 high point winner at the virtual championship. That is Lucas Wang. Our Coaches Award goes to a first-time swimmer in this group. She did a really, really nice job and got a lot better. She was really nervous and really shy at first, being in the group, but really progressed from day one and got so much better at freestyle. And I really love her sportsmanship, and that's kind of why I'm giving her this award. She's a very, very good teammate. She's supportive of everyone. She really does a nice job respecting her teammates and cheering, and I'm just really proud of how well she did this past year. That goes to Eloise Bone. Our Female Swimmer of the Year had a absolutely fantastic season, and by the luck of her birthday in the virtual championship, she got to remain 8 years old for the virtual championship and was the 8 and under high point award winner. She won 3 individual events at the virtual championship throughout the state. She performed really well. She even got close to a couple of team records herself. So I'm really, really well. I'm really proud of how far she came and just how hard she worked all season and refined her skills. It goes to Delia Wagstaff. And our Male Swimmer of the Year this year goes to a young man who worked really, really hard, and he did an absolutely fantastic job. He broke, I believe, 4 team records this past year. He really did a nice job of working on not only the skills, but being a good teammate and team leader. And it showed at our championships. Everyone rallied around him. Everyone was cheering for him and performed just above and beyond. And our Male Swimmer of the Year is Rake Joyner. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Coach Wojtek. This past season was my 3rd season with Rochester Swim Club and also with Junior 2. The swimmers in this group are 11 to 12 years old. They either continuing to develop strokes or are making the next step in professional swimming to grow as a better and faster swimmers. Unfortunately, we had to spend much of this season out of the pool. This left us only 15 weeks of training time in the water to prepare for the championships. During this short amount of time, we were able to do a tremendous amount of work. Swimmers swam over 100,000 yards, working on strokes, technique and speed of the swimming to be ready for the championships. The plan for this season was very simple: help swimmer improve their strokes and speed of the swimming, and of course make sure that they also have a fun time being here. We worked on each stroke for 2 days a week, and we mixed it with 1 day of individual medley before we start another stroke. On Saturdays, we focused on the skills like turns and starts. And it was also our fun day with the relays. I think we had a very successful season, despite obstacles beyond our control. Swimmers were able to achieve their goals and establish tons of personal best time. This season was very short compared to the previously one, but we were able to shine and swim fast at all-comers meet and grand finale meet. I think during this uncentered time, we did not only become faster swimmers, but we also grow as a better teammates, which transfer to fantastic atmosphere and better team. I would like to thank all of you for making another great season. It was a pleasure and joy to work with you. Good luck in the next one, and please remember that hard work and sharpening your skills always pays off. I'm looking forward to more of your swimming success. And now, let's get to the most awaited moment of this banquet, awards. The most dedicated award goes to the swimmer who is determined to achieve success, always works hard, and keeps a great attitude. Celine Herman. The most improved award goes to the swimmers whose hard work and dedication to the swimming have made them as significantly better swimmers. Liam Oswald. The Coaches Award goes to the swimmer that best exemplifies commitment and hard work. Evelyn Arnold Patterson. Swimmer of the Year goes to the swimmer who is very dedicated, made a big improvement, and is also the fastest swimmer in the group. This person also leads the others in the group to succeed. Female Swimmer of the Year, Kenzie Craddock. Male Swimmer of the Year, Evan Cunningham. Congratulations to all of you, and one more time, thank you for amazing season. Now it's time for Coach Amy. She will talk about Junior 1.
Hi everybody, this is Coach Amy. I am the lead coach for Junior 1. I've been coaching this group for 4 years coming up in this fall. And this group is made up of primarily 10 to 13-year-olds. They're the oldest kids in our age group program, and this group specifically, highly skilled kids, so technique is really good, specifically in 3, if not 4 of the strokes. There's always one that we need to work on a little bit more, which is always great to have something to work on. But technique is a huge foundation here, but we're really starting to kind of advance the strokes to get to that next level in this group. Most of the kids are kind of aiming for 11, 12 state cuts. And then some of those kids also have zone times as well. But they're a really competitive group. They're super fun. And, you know, this was a really, really special group this year, and I'll get into that later. One really special moment, we really tried hard to do some fun stuff in a safe way. And we had to get really, really creative. And I stole this idea from Tom because sometimes I'm not creative with games. So we were playing physio ball, kickball. Really nicely spread out. We're using the whole deep end. Briefly explained, you know, the rules and where they should be set up. And I was coaching with Coach Sam at the time, and it became very obvious very quickly that we don't really play team sports very often. They didn't know kickball rules. And then I said, it's just like baseball. And they all were like, so didn't really know baseball either. So it was very interesting. I told them, you know, when you have time off in the summer, watch some baseball, learn how to play some team sports. So it was very entertaining. It's kind of like Pee-wee hockey when they all kind of follow the puck. It was really funny. Major accomplishment though, we'll move on. We had a lot of great swims, lots of time drops throughout the season, even with that little break. in the winter time in December. But the thing that I was most proud of was the culture of this group. This group specifically this year, there was just something extra special about it. They were a tight-knit group, highly supportive of one another. When they were down, they were cheering each other up. When they were succeeding, they were hooting and hollering. It was, the best outcome you can expect in a group. I know they had like a group chat, and their last practice, they were all like sad because it was the best group ever. And it was just like, there's some of the best things to hear as a coach. And when I started to hear that, it was like, you guys are totally right. This group was really great. They all got along really well. It was really fun. So moving on, the part everybody's looking for is the awards. So our first award is for our most dedicated. This doesn't necessarily mean that, this swimmer is there all the time. This group actually has a really high attendance rate. Most of the kids are there every day, maybe 4 times a week. But a lot of them are there every single day. It's their number one commitment in most situations, not all. But this swimmer kind of goes to that next level. She's always trying to work on something. If I give her a correction, she's really attentive. She really wants to improve. She's really understands that everything goes into being better, not just going hard and going fast and making the top intervals. But she understands like all those little intricacies of the strokes. And that is Elise Weingarten. Congratulations, Elise. Our next award is for the most improved athlete. And this one, I kind of had a feeling about pretty early in the season. And he just kind of kept improving. He was growing a lot, which was really helpful, but that doesn't take away from how hard he works too. So he kind of kept building on his workout habits as the season went. And it kept showing up in the meets, and it was really fun. And he was just so thrilled all the time, and it was really great to watch. And that was Matt Ding. So congratulations, Matt. Our coaches award is the all-encompassing award. It's a kid that's working really hard. They show a lot of great team camaraderie and culture and build everybody up around them. And this person did that. And I think one thing she did is that she kind of really found what she was really good at, which is, I think, distance freestyle, but that was Bree Brockman. So congratulations, Bree. And then our last 2 awards are our Swimmers of the Year. These are typically the kids that score the highest at the state meet. They have the highest point total. And so our female Swimmer of the Year, one of her highlights actually was that she's qualified for the Speedo sectional meet at age 12, which I was talking to Coach Tom. I don't think we've had a swimmer at that age do that in a while. And that was Madeline Gao. So congratulations, Madeline. Our last award is our Male Swimmer of the Year. And this swimmer, like Madeline, they swim very similar events. They're doing the hard stuff. They like the grind. They like to work hard. They turn it on when the time is right. And he had a lot of great swims at the end of the season, especially in the long distance freestyle events. And that was Grady Bargfried. So congratulations, everybody. Great season.
Hello, Coach Wojtek again. This time I'm going to talk about the pre-senior 2 group, my second group. I started working with this group in September 2020. When I heard that there was an opening to work with this group, I didn't even have to give a moment's thought. I agreed to do it right away. I was very excited to have an ability to continue work with the swimmers who I had in a previously group and continue to help them grow as a better swimmer and people. There was another reason why I took this position. My cookie suppliers, Maggie and Layla. In case you don't know, they both take cookies for Coach, me, but not only, to the meet when they were in the 11-12-2 group. This season they made sure to keep this sweet tradition going. Pre-Senior 2 is designed for 13-14-year-old swimmers. At this age, distance of events become longer, and the shortest one is a 50 freestyle, All others are 100 and over. Swimmers also have to try longer distance events like 400 IM, 500,000 and mile freestyle, and of course the much loved 200 butterfly. We had to work hard on our endurance to be best prepared for championships. We started in September, but we had an unplanned break and the real season started in January. We had only 15 weeks to be ready for the championships. For the first 3 weeks, we worked on getting back into shape. After that, we shifted gears and started looking forward to the championships meets. In the short amount of time what we had, swimmers were able to swim 120,000 yards, working either on short axis stroke, butterfly and breaststroke, or long axis stroke, freestyle or backstroke, with IM day separation. Saturday was our skill day and fun day. We were work on turns, starts, and races in relays. I think the best relay was a reverse freestyle. Everybody loved it and had a lot of fun doing this one. I think all swimmers had a great season with a strong finish at all-comers meet and grand finale. I am very proud of the transitions and changes which happened to each swimmer over this season. They not only became faster swimmer and improved their stroke technique, but also more mature. The most important from my perspective is trying something what most swimmers think is very hard. At the beginning of the season, I heard a lot, please do not sign me up for this event. To finish with, I want to swim 200 fly, 1000 or mile freestyle at the meet. I know also that during this uncertain time we became stronger group and team. We moved to the next level of cheering for each swimmer at the meet, and also the most important, strong teammates friendship. The last practice was very emotional because the season was over and some swimmers were changing a group. I want to thank all of you for wonderful, fast, full of emotion and good music season. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your successes. And now let's jump to awards. The most dedicated swimmer is an athlete who believes that what she does is very important, has given a great amount of time and energy to accomplish her goal. Alexandra Sasha Wheeler. The most improved is a swimmer whose great improvement in a swimming technique caused them become notably faster swimmer. Leila Hubert. The coaches award was the hardest one for me to pick. I had a lot of swimmers who deserve it, but as everybody knows that the music is stronger than magic, so this award is going to the person who was our first DJ at the practices. I also saw a lot of positive changes over the season at this swimmer. Alize Rizvi. The swimmer of the year is sum of these awards in one athlete. Female swimmer of the year, Madi Urbanek. Male swimmer of the year, Davin Tukuna. One more time. Thank you for the great season, and right now Coach Amy is going to talk about Pre-Senior 1. Thank you!
Hi everybody, this is Coach Amy again. I'm the lead coach also for the Pre-Senior 1 group. I've been the lead coach of that group for 2 years now. This group is made up of 13 to 15-year-olds, typically have a gold standard up to speedo sectional cuts, and some of them are kind of creeping up on the futures cuts. The kids in this group all have really good technique. They're really advanced in their skills. and that allows them to train at a higher level in their practices. For this year, we had a very unique year, lots of unique, great moments, forced us to be really creative on how we could have fun in a safe manner. And one of the things we did was we had some relays, and the task was to use 2 pieces of equipment in a non-traditional way. And you can imagine the creativity that came about, and, people with fins on their hands trying to swim with that. But I think the most creative was one of the kids, I believe it was one of the boys, took a tempo trainer and tucked it into their jammer, which it was a very simple little fix. I don't know, at the moment, it was extremely hilarious, gave us all a really good laugh. It was a great moment. Performance highlights. We had, I think, about like 85% of our group qualify for the state meet, which was obviously a very different format this year. And then we had 7 athletes that competed at the Speedo sectional meet, which was really, really exciting. I was hoping for 3, so that was a really, really great moment. Now, moving on to the awards, which is always exciting. We had a lot of really big swims across the board. Every single swimmer had just some really great opportunities where they went really fast, and they worked really hard all season, and it really showed through at the end, as we hope it does. And the first award is our most dedicated. And this group is a dedicated group. They're dedicated in so many different ways. They're dedicated in their attendance. They're dedicated in the way that they practice, the way that they compete. But this swimmer really takes it up to the next level. He is there at every practice, and he uses every single opportunity to make every moment count. He qualified for the Speedo sectional meet for the first time. He was one of those kids that I thought it might be possible and kind of put a little bug in his ear earlier in the season. And he had a really good rest meet early March. Did not qualify at that meet, and then just swam the mile the next weekend, and I think dropped like 30 some seconds and got a Speedo cut. So as we could probably figure out by now, that was Gavin Potter. Congratulations, Gavin. Our most improved award. This is always a really fun one and a special one for me, because it's really what we're all about, is improving. And this swimmer I've had off and on since I've been here, which is about 6 years now. And he's always been somebody who's been very attentive in practice, always trying to do exactly what whoever's coaching is telling them to do, always trying to get better and better and better. And he's just kind of been chugging along year after year. And this year he just was improving all the time, and some meets, every single event, dropping a lot of time. And then he got his first state cut ever at the end of the season at like the last meet before getting to some of the 13 over virtual championship. And that was Joe Vesterby. So congratulations, Joe. Our coaches award. This is kind of the all-encompassing award. Each year it kind of means something a little different, at least when I give it out. This year, this athlete showed a tremendous amount of personal growth in and out of the pool. She was going through a lot in her swimming that she was really striving to work through. But she also has been a great teammate. She's really helped other swimmers get through things when they're struggling, and she recognizes that they're struggling, and she goes out of her way to help them. And it says a lot about who she is and what our team is all about. And that was Audra Wagstaff. Our last 2 awards are the Swimmer of the Year awards. These really kind of go to our kid that, scores the most points at the end of the season. For our female Swimmer of the Year, she really put all of her hard work into everything at the end of the season, qualified for Speedo sectionals, dropped a lot of time to do so, and had a lot of breakthrough moments for herself. And I was really, really proud of her on that. And that was Sophie Blixt. And then our last award for this group goes to the Male Swimmer of the Year. And he really set the tone for the group. He really improved his training habits, has worked really, really hard for everything he has in every way possible, and he's really built a really great team around him, which speaks more to just the points on the board at the end of the season, and that was Jaden Edmondson. So congratulations, everybody.
Good evening again. Coach Tom for the Senior 2 group. This is the first year that we split the senior team. We had to do this because of the pandemic, and the numbers were so high in this group and the Senior 1 group. But it made this group very, very special this year. It was so good to see this group split out and not be all in the same pot as the Senior 1 group. It allowed for kids to really get the coaching that they deserve, as well as for me to be able to connect with these guys and give them what they need as athletes. This group has a wide range of abilities beginning on the senior team. We have every ability from MRC qualifiers, state level swimmers to sectional qualifiers. The group practices 6 days a week for an hour and 45 to 2 hours a day. Training is the main part of this group. We also work on a lot of higher level skills and still are developing that stuff. Still working on form, but it's training, and what training is working out to get better. The goal is to help these athletes discover not only what that training is, but also to bridge that training and what they're doing in that discipline into life skills. Life skills such as time management, communication, relationships, and stress. When you're committed to doing something 12 hours a week, it takes a lot of time away from the other things. Time management, making sure that you have enough time to do all of this stuff for your school, making sure that they communicate with me and they're communicating with you and their teachers, and just how important that is as they get older and are eventually going to leave this team and go to college, whether they're swimming in college or just having good relationships with their professors, their coworkers, their teammates. And they're also managing the stress. It puts a lot of physical exhaustion on these guys. They work really, really hard. Some of the sleep loss is really challenging, but they commit to doing this, and it makes them grow. It makes them better people, and that's not because of swimming; it's through swimming. We had so many major time traps this season in this group. It was really astonishing from September until April how much better we got and just how every meet mattered and how well we did. My favorite part of the season was watching this group perform at the end of the season and really break through some barriers. It truly is an accomplishment to break through some of the physical and mental barriers in swimming, whether it's going under a minute for the first time in an event, getting a cut you've been chasing for months and months and months. Maybe it's pushing through a set that you didn't know you could. These things are huge accomplishments for them, not only with swimming, but in their life as they move forward. The idea that we work really, really hard and we continually work to be better and to accomplish what we want to. It's the ultimate test of delayed gratification. We had a very strong showing at the virtual championship from this group. I couldn't have been more proud to be the coach, not from what they were doing in the water, but from the noise from these guys cheering and supporting each other at the end of the season. They're truly a team, and it's so gratifying to have them support one another and take care of one another and just be so excited for one another when it came to their performances at the end of the year. Our award winners for this group, the same 5 that you've been hearing. We have our most dedicated award. I gave this award to this swimmer because of how much of a change she had made in where she started to where she ended up this season. Really, really worked hard, communicated really well, but was at almost every one of the practices throughout the course of the year. The only time I think she missed out on a practice is she had to get her hair done. The most dedicated goes to Ariana Thorpe. Our most improved swimmer came back to swimming after a couple of years off, or about 18 months off. He jumped into the group. He was very excited, and he had to go through the trials and tribulations of training and getting back into shape and working really hard. But he did a fantastic job, and a lot of those cheers and that excitement for the great performances at the end of the season came from the crowd for this swimmer, and our most improved swimmer is George Shonen. Our Coaches Award winner goes to someone who I admire a lot in terms of their stick-to-itiveness. She's teaches little kids. She co-coaches with me. She works really hard. She was a team captain this year, and she really leads by example. She's gotten so much better at so many things, from practice to coaching to teaching to working with others. It has just been awesome, and we are going to really miss her next year. Our Coaches Award winner for this Senior 2 group is Abby Stott. On to our Female Swimmer of the Year. Female Swimmer of the Year this year really did a great job of getting better every day. She worked very, very hard, trained very, very hard, and was kind of the leader of her lane throughout the whole course of the season. She kept getting better, and really came to the end of the season with some fantastic performances and just blew it out of the water and got her first sectionals cut in the 200 butterfly. Our Swimmer of the Year is Sam Olchin. Our Male Swimmer of the Year for this group really did a nice job of learning what it was like to be in the senior group. He worked really hard and gradually just kept getting better and better and better. And each meet he would get a little bit better. He would learn something, he'd grow. But he really was a good teammate, and he worked his tail off with his teammates to get better. He ended up being a Speedo Sectionals qualifier towards the end of the year and got to go to the Speedo Sectional meet up in Fargo, North Dakota, and got to see swimming at kind of the next level for the first time. I think he did a really nice job from day one until the end of the season. Alonzo Montori. The last stop, the Senior 1 group. This is the top group that we have on our team. If you're in this group, swimming is your number one priority outside of family and school. The main focus of this group is to really embrace what swimming teaches, as well as push yourself to the next level. We train, we do doubles, we race a lot. I ask a lot of these kids physically, I ask them to be engaged mentally, and I really ask them to be all in on swimming. This group was split out from the Senior 2 group this year. Again, it was because of the COVID reasons and the numbers, and I really think it helped solidify this training group. It was really good to see this group bond together and work together, but also learn with each other on what they can be. Many of the kids in this group have admirations of swimming in college, whether it be the Division III, Division II, Division I, or NAIA levels. They put that as a high priority in their life. Their focus is beyond that of the state and local levels. Many of these athletes are national level qualifiers, whether it be at the Speedo Sectional meet, the Futures Championship, or even Winter Juniors or Summer Junior National level. This group really does take three things. It takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of discipline, and it takes a lot of engagement. It's very, very challenging to wake up early, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and train really hard and do everything that I ask of them to do. But they usually do it, sometimes reluctantly, but they do it and they're better because of it. It was really rewarding this year to watch this group grow and see the different levels of swimming. Because of how secluded we were with the COVID-19 pandemic, many of these kids got to go to a Speedos meet or a sectionals meet for the first time, or a national meet for the first time, and see what those meets were all about. It was really, really awesome, because not only did they rise to the occasion, I think it really excited them for what else is out there. That growth mindset is really what it's about being in this group. I have a really particular favorite moment that I want to share. It was back in February, and we did a practice, and I told the kids it was only going to be 3,000 yards. We warmed up for 1,000 yards, and then we did 2100s as hard as they could go on 4 minutes. And I think they thought I was crazy at first, but watching them work through that and, yes, suffer through the hard part, but eventually turn it around and start cheering each other on, supporting each other, and then digging in and just really performing and going fast, that was my favorite moment of the season, because they were all for one. They were a team. And that is really what this is about. It's really hard to train and look at a black line by yourself. You need the people around you to support you and keep pushing you to keep going. In the virtual championship series, or in the last month and a half, the majority of these swimmers have done the aquajet prelims finals meet. They've done the Speedo sectional meet. They've done the virtual championship meet here in Rochester, and then even went on to the TRR Pro meet, or Tier Pro meet, down in Iowa last weekend. That's a lot of racing, and it was really exciting to watch them to continue to perform and get better and grow. Most dedicated award this year goes to someone who came back to the sport of swimming and swimming with the team. She did a fantastic job of really getting over the hump, being a Speedo qualifier again, or a sectionals qualifier again, and trained really hard at every practice, letting me know what was going on. Just did an absolutely fantastic job. I couldn't have been more excited for how well she did this year, and just seeing so many good performances from November all the way through. Alexa Kelly. Our most improved swimmer goes from someone who is new to the Senior 1 group this year and really took a big step forward in his swimming. He was only known as a breaststroker, but made some huge gains this year and really learned a lot. Learned a lot from competition, learned a lot from being at a barrier and just struggling to break past that barrier, but while stuck at that 100 breaststroke barrier, all of these other swims started coming along. His butterfly, his IMs, his backstroke, and it was really rewarding to see. Not only that, he got way better at practice swimming and training and working hard in the pool every day. He really took his swimming to the next level, and I'm excited to see where he can go. Our most improved swimmer this year is Sean Bannon. Our Coaches Award winner for this group goes to someone who works very hard all the time, and more than anything has super positive energy and is always loud and excited to be at swimming. He is a cheerleader for everyone and anyone. He is supportive. He works hard. He trains hard. He performs at his best when he is around his teammates. He's truly an amazing teammate to a lot of people around him, and I really think he did a lot of good this year, not only with his swimming, but as a team member. And that goes to Joseph Hegland. Our female swimmer of the year this year had the biggest swim in one of the biggest spots ever. She made finals at Speedo sectionals and really performed well in her breaststrokes, making it to her future standards. She's team captain. She works very hard all the time and really put it all together and had a just tremendous season. Our swimmer of the year goes to Ava Gustafson. Our male swimmer of the year had an absolutely fantastic season. He grew so much in learning through the process of struggling at meets to getting just a little bit better, not being exactly where he wanted to be. And when we rested and went to the Speedo sectional meet, it all came together, and he made his winter juniors qualifying time, which was a big goal for him for a long time, and it really set him into the next level of swimming on the national stage. Our male swimmer of the year is Nick Wheeler.
Our volunteer of the year for 2020 is Michaela Hinkle. Michaela wanted to give back to the sport that gave her so much. She understands the mechanics and is technically so good at her skill of coaching. She connected so well with the kids and was an ideal role model for them. We wish her the best of luck on her next endeavor. Thank you, Michaela. RSC will miss you. We have many people we would like to thank this year. First, our board of directors. President Nate Werneberg, Vice President T.R. Wheeler, Treasurer Jonathan Atkinson, Secretary Shelley Beecher, members at large Jill Holmes, Dan Maley, Autumn Kappas, and Tom Walsh. We would like to thank RSI for all the support they give us and the swimming and diving community throughout the entire year. We would like to thank our partners in sponsorship this year. They are Tier, Shields, Thatcher Pools and Spas, Rochester Swimming Inc., Northwest Dental, Q Transmission, Charlie's Eatery, Elsmore Aquatics, and Carol's Corn. Lastly, we'd like to thank Emily Garrison for putting all the pictures together that the family sent in. We'd like to thank Shelley and Logan, who do the banquet, all the behind the scenes, and put everything for the banquet together to make this run. And lastly, we would like to thank all the families that stuck it out this crazy year. Who are we? RSC. Thank you.